Hey guys, Michelle here from the Loony Bin. I had a wonderful interview with Josh Phillips this weekend. He talked about Walmart for 40 minutes and I was glued to my chair the whole time. It's hilarious. You gotta come check it out. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Stop. Sorry, I'm really dorky. I was trying to think of something really funny. Give you a lot of editing to do here.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know anything about that stuff. My name is Josh Phillips, and I have been doing stand-up comedy for 11 years. Okay. I never set out to be a comedian. I never said, oh, I want to be a comedian when I grow up or whatever. And a friend of mine, he's a stand-up comedian and an actor. His name is Blake Clark. Have you ever seen The Waterboy?
Yeah.
My friend Blake, he played a character named Farmer Fran. Yeah. Anyway, Blake said, "You need to try comedy," and I'm like, I don't know anything about it, I did it because he lied to me, like tricked me to get it done. He's like, "I'm performing in Knoxville," which is right next to the town I live in, Oak Ridge. And he said, I'm performing there, and I told the club owners and the bookers that you're going to MC the show. You're going to open for me. And they've advertised you so you can't back out. And I'm like, what? They don't advertise the MC.
Yeah.
I didn't know. It was the worst thing that ever happened. I mean, I just did so badly, and I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. It was so great sucking at something, so much fun. So the club manager, I guess he saw a little something in me and asked if I wanted to come back and MC the next week. And then the next week. And I MC'd every week for 14 months straight, except for minus about 3 weeks, I think, of those. Wow. So all of a sudden I went from nothing to having all this stage time and got a little bit better, and then it just kind of grew from there. I did like traditional storytelling before I did stand-up comedy. Past the fact that you're on stage entertaining a crowd, that's the only similarity. Storytelling, you want to draw things out and like that, you see, in comedy you want to keep things tight and quick and boom, boom, boom and get to the point. But storytelling, you kind of paint these visually more wordy pictures. They call it trimming the fat, and cut out all the superfluous words and just get to the funny quicker. And storytelling, it's the opposite. You take your time, and it's like a 3-course meal. Comedy, that's fast food. The first thing, for whatever reason, to come to my mind was once I was performing, and I had a dryer sheet, one of those fabric softener things, coming out of my pant leg, and I didn't know it, and everybody else did. And once somebody finally pointed it out, I was like, "What the?" The other time was I got on Paula Deen's show. Uh-huh. She has comedians on her new network, and I went with a friend of mine who had auditioned for the show, and we were going to film. I was just tagging along, and I went down to where they had all this food laid out because they said, "Hey, we can eat." I mean, it's Paula Deen's. Yeah, of course you're going to come chow down. Yeah. And it was outside. They had this big outdoor kitchen behind the house, and it was right on the beach, and so I'm walking down there, and there's nobody around. They had all this food, and I'm like, well, it's getting cold, so I'm sitting there doing all the stuff, and this assistant comes down, and it's like, "Sir, you can't be there." And I'm like, "Why? What's?" Long story short is, Paula Deen was filming in the house, and I was in the background in the shot. And they're sitting there watching this fat guy come and make this giant plate. And she thought it was so funny that she's like, who is he? He's a comedian? Oh, get him on the show. Because on Paula Deen's show, I gave her my website, and she said it wrong. My Facebook, my fan page is Tennessee Josh. And she messed that up. I won't say what she said, but it was like this porn site. And I'm like, no, that's not me. But yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, you know, under Tennessee Josh and Josh Phillips. You can, you know, find me there. If it's in your heart and comedy is something that you really want to try, by all means try it, and just don't suck. That probably wasn't that boring or that interesting.
No, it was good.
I was like, oh my God, sorry. I got real wordy. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I'll make it good. I'll make it good.
Awesome. Okay, sorry.
I'll keep the interesting parts in there. The parts where I wasn't snoozing, I'll put it in there. Just kidding.
Dang.
That was a joke.
Rough crowd.
I know.